DeQuell at?
Hey, you know what? DeQuell's laughing. It looks like he's ready. Steve, can we pull DeQuell up?
Yeah,
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's get
Nice
DeQuell
hat.
on here.
Nice hat.
I thought you had an Ohio State hat on for a second.
Go.
So I gotta get so DeQuell. We going right to it. You don't even get no breaks. We right off into this thing. Now, did you have an issue with Odell Beckham and the tape his father put out? We'll start with that.
No, it was the truth. I mean, obviously, as a player, you don't want your family meddling in your professional life.
Right.
But listen, it was. Could anyone argue? I mean, listen, Baker needed to play better. He was a box office talent, and OBJ. He only can be so effective if the offense isn't catered to him and the quarterback isn't getting him the football. So those were two areas that I heard you guys talk. And I agree with a lot of things that you guys said about the whole situation. But no one brought up the fact that what's that?
Who you picking?
As a player?
Yep,
right now? Because, I mean, different scenario. Right now, because of health, you got to go with Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
But
it's always because of health, though, Dell.
Right, but I agree with Brad. The difference, when you have two guys who are playing the same position, and you have one guy that's box office, that's a difference maker, that's a game changer, I'm going to pick him 9 times out of 10.
That's my Maryland man right there.
Not to diminish, not to diminish Amari Cooper's talent, but it's something to be said about a game changer.
Yeah.
You know, you can't defend it. You can't
Didn't
prepare
Amari
for
used
it.
to be that guy?
He
though?
wasn't that here. DeQuell, he wasn't that here, and you could blame Baker for some of it, but you can't give the wide receiver a complete pass. He didn't play well enough here.
No. I don't give him a complete pass. He had a lot of drops. It was inconsistent, but I think more importantly, the offense didn't cater his skill set.
I agree.
It was Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb. It was their show, and it was Baker Mayfield. Let's roll out. Let's get you outside of the pocket. Let's make throws that you need to make, and we don't want you to screw it up. You're not a difference maker for us. Obviously, we're going to lean on our offensive line, the running backs. But in terms of Odell needs to be in a 5-wide set. Similar, the success he had with the Rams, that catered his skill set. You need 3-4 receiver sets. Let him use his ability to get open. This old school traditional 2-set running back formations with him. No, that's not his game.
Hell, we don't use that. We have more tight ends on the field than wide receivers sometimes.
Right.
So I mean, Bull is saying, I think maybe part of the blame needs to be shared. I think it's a 3-way problem, and I don't know who's to blame necessarily. Stefanski's system did not fit what OBJ does.
Yeah.
Baker wasn't effective in getting him the ball enough. I think there's enough blame to go around for everyone, but it wasn't a good fit.
Odell got the exact same amount of targets in LA that he got per game in Cleveland. So it wasn't like they threw the ball to him anymore.
Well, I think what they do in LA is just a dynamic offense.
Right.
They get playmakers. You have playmakers. You have Cooper Kupp over there, who's the number 1 receiver, and when you have talent and you have a scheme that mirrors each other, I think that's why you saw the success of that offense and Odell Beckham having an impact as early as he did, as opposed to his time here with the Browns. Again, it goes back to, we can go back and forth and play that game, but I think when it boils down to it, Kevin Stefanski's offense didn't cater to Odell Beckham's skills. And I think Amari Cooper fits the bill because he is a talented receiver. He's he's coming off of a pretty down year. He didn't have 1,000 yards receiving, but you're not expecting him. Your expectations are tempered a bit with him. You don't think he's going to be that game changer, that difference maker for your team. You think he's going to be a solid, steady pro, make great catches when you need him to. And if he makes a game-changing play, it's more of a surprise than an expectation.
DeQuell, when I ain't play at the level y'all play at, but when I was playing defense, I would look at people offense and be like, oh man, y'all coming out with 3 tight ends? Oh, you letting us off the hook? Why? Well, I'll take all these fullbacks in here. Push come to shove. What are you running, Abu? Push come to shove. You gonna run a setup screen? But when you coming out in 2-3 receivers, you got motion. I got to worry about all this other stuff in front of me, and everything is open. My question to you is, why would Stefanski loves certain personnel? Why is it, do you think, coaches, when they would have a receiver like Odell Beckham Jr., instead of really featuring them, they stick to the tight end thing? Is it because that's just their identity, or is it a lack of confidence in what that person can do?
I think it's a lot of coaches with my experience in the league, they're stubborn. They're stubborn. They're going to do things the way they're going to do things, regardless of who I have at the tight end position. That's a difference maker. No matter who I have at the receiver position, that's a difference maker. They're going to run that scheme. And I got to give him credit as well, because I feel like we're bashing Kevin Stefanski for a second. He won games the best way he saw fit for this team, and that was to run the ball, to run to set up the pass. Because we had a guy on the center that he's a solid guy, but he's not a difference maker. So we need to lean on the guys that are difference makers. Nick Chubb, and it boils down to this is a great problem to have that he couldn't figure out with Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., Njoku, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb. This is a great problem most coaches want, but he couldn't figure it out because it's only one football. And unfortunately, things will work out now that you have Deshaun. Now, if Deshaun Watson was here a year ago with Odell Beckham, I don't think he leaves. I think this is a different conversation if you have Deshaun Watson behind the scenes.
Hey, DeQuell, we're looking at some video. I think we may have moved on from it, but we were a second ago looking at video from yesterday. This again is from yesterday's OTA, and I don't know if you've had a chance to look at much of it, but the one thing that really jumps out to me, obviously the ball just comes out of his hand different. Quick decisions, snappy throws, but also this is a luxury to have after watching Baker. He's able to throw the ball down to his receivers. What does that mean? What is it?
Huge thighs.
He's just a massive
He's got
guy.
huge thighs.
What does that mean, DeQuell, that he's able to throw the ball down to receivers?
So uptight over there.
It's going to give the receiving core and that team just confidence that you can run your routes to the top of your route. He can get you the ball anywhere on the field. It's going to trickle over to the defense because the defense right now has to defend it. And every day he makes a good throw or does a good catch or there's a big play, he's gaining more trust from his teammates, his coaches. And, the guy's playing for his legacy right now, his livelihood.
Sure.
So he's you're getting his best foot forward. So the fact that he can make those throws, and I'm sure in day one, guys in the receiving room, guys on that offense realize this guy is different. We love Baker. We'll support Baker, but this guy is different and he can help us win.